Hi, and welcome to Ukulele Lessons Easy 1B. Today we're talking about the 1, 4, 5, 7 chords and the chord calc exercise, getting ready for the song King of the Road. King of the Road, that's coming up in a couple of oncoming tutorials. So let's get started. At this time, you want to go ahead and grab your music sheet that says King of the Road. Okay. So if you need to pause your tutorial and go ahead and grab that music sheet, King of the Road, okay, King of the Road, and if you need to grab your chord chart and or a music book to do the chord calc exercise, go ahead and do that too. Pause for a second while you pause your tutorial to get that stuff, and then we'll get started. Okay, first of all, the notations here: chord A equals the 1 chord, chord D equals the 4 chord, and the chord E7 equals 5/7. Okay, so you're going to be writing those Roman numerals next to those chords. I know that, maybe some of you by now are totally confused as to why we're writing this, but in the upcoming tutorial that's coming up not too far from now, I'm going to be explaining at least a little bit and giving you a small introduction into leading about how music theory works and gives you a better understanding. Keep in mind, we're going into more depth in Ukulele 2, the online course, but at least I'll give you some kind of introduction in the upcoming tutorial coming up later on. So, once again, you're going to be writing those numbers for each of those chords, okay? So what I did was at the bottom of the music sheet by the bridge, I wrote down the 1 for A, the 4 for D, etc. 5/7 for E7, 1 for A, 4 for D, 1 for A, 5/7 for E. Okay, so you can do the same. I suggest writing it in pencil instead of pen. However, it doesn't matter, but so they're just not too obtrusive when you're reading the music. And once again, the whole idea is to get familiar and associating the letter chord with the number chord. Okay, you want to start being able to make this kind of like very familiar to you as you play the different songs and different keys. But the Roman numeral always is pretty constant. Okay, meaning that depending on what key your song is, they're pretty much going to be the same. The chords, meaning the letter chords, the letters, they may change. Okay, so now we're moving on. Don't forget to do the same thing for every single chord in the song. Okay, do that for every single chord in the song. Now, we're going to be doing a chord calc exercise. Either way, these chords are in your music book. Or your chord chart, your basic chord chart. Okay. If this A chord is not in your music book, I know it's on your chord chart. Okay, let's get started. So, I've shown you how to do the chord calc exercise. Now, when you preview the music, okay, because you have to preview the music every time before you start. You're going to look through the music, okay, line by line, chord by chord, and you're just making sure that you can play the chord as you pass by it. So it's kind of like sight reading. You're looking at it, and then you're saying, "Oh, I can play that. I can play that. Oh, I mean, you need a little practice there." Then you do a chord calc exercise for that chord. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So I'm grabbing my ukulele. Just to give you an example, I'm looking at the music sheet, which is the song I'm going to play, which is King of the Road. I'm doing a chord calc exercise. So I'm looking at the music sheet. And if you're following along with me, you can see that the first chord is A. So I'm doing a chord calc exercise for A. I'm not playing. We're just getting ready to play the song. Before you play, you're going to do this chord calc exercise. Next chord is a D. Okay? Last 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, last 3 fingers. Oh, just to remind you, in the music book, it shows you some other fingering. Don't use that fingering. Use this fingering. Once again, don't use the fingering in the book. Use this fingering. And the reason being is because when we start to play more chords in association with bar chords, this fingering is going to really come in handy for adapting to learning new bar chords, which will you be learning in the next course, Ukulele 2 online. Okay, so once again, use that fingering. Okay, so you're looking through the music. First chord was an A. You're doing the A chord cock exercise. Then you're doing a D. Okay. Next chord in the song is the E7. You're doing that. Next chord is an A. So you're doing a chord cock exercise. Next chord is a D. So you're doing a D. Okay. You're pressing and relaxing. I'm kind of going kind of fast. You don't want to go this fast. You really want to do this the same way how you do the chord cock exercise. And I'm telling you, when you do this, you're going to learn things so much faster. Okay, next chord is an E7. Next is an A. Next is a D. Next is an E7. Next is an A D7, an E7, and an A7, which is the first verse. And if you notice, the first verse is exactly the same as the second verse. Okay, so first verse exactly the same as second verse. So in that case, you probably won't have to do the chord cock exercise again for the second verse, but the bridge is different, so you want to do that. And once again, you want to write in those Roman numerals for every chord in the entire song. I didn't write it out here because I want you to do it. I want you to actually do it. Use your brains and figure it out. Basically, here I showed you how to do it and what to do. All you have to do is do it on the paper now. And don't forget to do your chord cock exercise. Once you can do the chord cock exercise throughout the whole song, I think you're pretty much ready to play the song and you shouldn't have any difficulties. All you have to do is learn the strumming, which will be coming up in the tutorial for King of the Road, coming up very soon. Okay, so when you're ready for the next lesson, we shall see you then.